Phil Harding here at the Burris booth at SHOT Show 2024. Want to go over a few different products with you. I've got 4 items, and we'll do a deep dive here on the Veracity PH for the start. So as you may know, we started with the Veracity PH 4-20 in 2023. That one was very, very well received. So we wanted to go ahead and expand the lineup, add a few extra features, and kind of keep that fire burning. So the new Veracity PH is also available in the 4-20, just as it was last year. However, it's a new optical system that's about an inch shorter than the old one was. So now we're getting a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter, more compact. In addition, we've added reticle illumination in addition to the head-up display that you guys are all familiar with from the Peak programmable elevation knob that is unique to the Veracity PH series. With that programmable elevation knob, I've still got 34.5 MOA of adjustment right here. The awesome digital turret with no clicks so that you can get a nice fine graduation of the electronic knob there. When you load in your ballistics via the Burris Connect app, that's going to read out in about 1/10 MOA increments. So most of you are used to using 1/4 MOA clicks on all of your scopes when you're getting sighted in. It does still have those graduations laser etched on there. So as you're dialing and getting zeroed in for the first time, you can totally use those clicks to get an idea. If for some reason your batteries are out, you can still use this as a totally normal mechanical scope. And just use those laser etched graduations that are on there. But when you've got the batteries added and the head-up display turned on, you've got an awesome head-up display that reads out your point of impact distance specific to the cartridge that you loaded into it. So I can pull out my Burris Connect app on my phone, load in, let's say today I've got a 143 grain 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm pushing about 2,800 feet per second because I'm moving really, really fast. And I'm putting in my environmental conditions. I'll Bluetooth that over onto the scope. It takes about 30-40 seconds. And once it's there, it's there. I don't need to remain connected. Don't need to have a rangefinder connected to the scope. All that data just lives on the scope. And then as I dial the turret, it's reading out, I'm on 4.75 MOA. That translates to about, 300 yards. Cool. I can just work with that right there. That way when I'm out in the field, range find 300 yards, dial 300 yards, and shoot. On top of that, once again, if batteries go out or anything like that, I've still got a Veracity rifle scope. That's our top of the line hunting rifle scope. Great glass and a first focal plane reticle with some holdover lines. In addition to that 4-20, I've got this 2.5-12 by 42 and a 3-15 by 44 available, all in about the $1,100 to $1,500 ballpark. Moving on to the Eliminator series. So we've got the new Eliminator 6, but I want to start by showing you guys the Eliminator 5. Let's get reacquainted with Burris's flagship product. So this is a ballistic compensating laser range finding rifle scope. The rangefinder is activated right there or with a remote. It sends out a rangefinder signal, comes back, and then lights up a dot in the X96 illuminated reticle to give you a holdover point. So if I've got let's say a lower powered, slower cartridge, like say 4570, I'll range at 300 yards, and it's going to light up a dot near the bottom of that field of view, saying I need to hold over there in order to hit that target at 300 yards. It's also connected to the magnification ring since the reticle is in the second focal plane. If I rotate the magnification dial, that dot's going to move up and down based on wherever the magnification is and make sure that that holdover point is accurate. Like I said, we are launching the Eliminator 6 this year. So this is a radically new, redesigned model. As you can see, it's mounted in standard rifle scope rings. This is a 34mm main tube, a lot sleeker, way sexy looking. And I've just got my 3 buttons there. We are no longer programming our ballistics onto the scope itself. Very similar to the Veracity PH, we're gonna use the Burris Connect app, figure out our ballistics just like we used to, and Bluetooth it onto the Eliminator 6. So that programming process just got way, way easier. In addition to all of the information that the Eliminator 5 brought, which was range and a wind call along with your ballistic holdover dot, this is also going to provide for the shooter when you range a target with either the included remote or that range finding button. It's going to provide the target distance as well as the bullet's velocity and energy at that distance. So having those two features is really helpful to make sure that we're staying ethical with our hunting. We do want to train to hunt far, but we also want to hunt responsibly and make sure that we never miss a shot. So that's the whole idea and the whole concept behind the Eliminator, is to eliminate those variables, eliminate the guesswork, and eliminate the target. Along with having the velocity and the energy loaded in and connected to the range that you've selected, you can set a shot call indicator. So that'll be a little red X in there. So let's say we're in Colorado, we're hunting elk. Elk CPW, our game management organization, recommends about 1,500 foot-pounds to down an elk. So I'll set a 1,500 foot-pound threshold via the Burris Connect app, and if I range a target that is beyond that threshold of 1,500 foot-pounds, it'll give me that X and say, no, don't take the shot, hunt up, get a little bit closer, and get a closer range so you can get more energy on impact and get that elk taken down ethically. Really, really cool piece of hardware. We're really excited to announce this and share it with the world. So be looking forward for the Eliminator 6. The FastFire C, which we launched earlier this year, is a micro compact red dot sight. So this fits on the RMSC footprint. It'll go right on top of, this is the Stoeger STR9MC. I've also got on a Beretta ADX Cheetah, but it'll also fit on the Sig Sauer P365, the Springfield Hellcat, Glock 43X, Glock 48, Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. There's a whole host of those micro compact, what do we call them, stack and a half type pistols. And so now Burris has a new mounting footprint that's going to fit on those micro compact pistols. The FastFire C itself has a glass lens. So that glass lens is going to massively improve the optical quality. It's going to cut down a lot on the kind of blue appearance that some of the other micro red dots have. And then it's all encased in a polymer shroud. So this is a glass reinforced polycarbonate, and that allows for a little bit of resistance, a little bit of give in the event of an impact. Actually does a really good job of protecting that lens from shattering or chipping. So we're really, really happy with that, how that stacked up in our durability testing. So much so that we've actually included some serrated portions here on the front edge. Those are going to protect the lens from any kind of scratches, as well as give us a surface to do any kind of weapon manipulations if we have to. So I can go ahead and put it on the edge of a desk or my boot, or use the heel of my hand like that to manipulate the slide. A couple other trick features that it's got. There is a removable rear sight in here. There are a few of those micro compact pistols that the the optic plate will actually remove the rear sight. Once you install it, if you've got this rear sight installed, you at least have a frame of reference if for some reason you can't see the dot. Speaking of the dot, it operates on the Burris Intelligent Auto Brightness System. So what that's going to give you is over 25,000 hours of battery life on a medium setting, so much, much longer in its lower power state. Single button so that you can change your brightness segment. So if I want a dimmer dot, let's say, but somebody else wants a brighter dot, it's still going to change within a scale of brightness settings, and my buddy who likes the brighter dot is going to always have a brighter dot than I would on my lower brightness setting. But when you put this into a holster or into a purse, nightstand, wherever it is you keep your firearm, it's going to go into a very, very low power state, but the dot will still be on. What that means is it's going to react very, very quickly if it pulls out of the holster, out of the safe, wherever it is, and react to the light that's out in the ambient area, and give you the appropriate brightness for that particular situation. But while it's in that low power state, it's not using as much battery, and that's how we're getting that extreme battery life out of it without having to add an accelerometer or use shake awake or anything like that. Pretty powerful little piece here. I'm certainly going to be trusting my life to it on my carry gun, and at a price of only $229, it's not a lot of damage to your wallet either. Last but not least, I've got Burris's Gen 3 Thermal. So Gen 2 looked exactly like this. It was a wild departure from our first generation of thermal. Sleek new industrial design. We've added in, for the rifle scope form factor, we have an internal battery as well as an externally replaceable 18650 battery. Nothing proprietary. You can go into a local Batteries Plus or vape shop or wherever and get a standard 18650 battery and swap into this pretty quickly and easily. So having that versatility is really, really clutch if you're out in the middle of the night and you need a battery. We also have a fantastic, super intuitive user interface. The menu structure is all operated off of this single click wheel. Press the button in order to get into the menus, dial it to select, press to select, and set your different options. And if something goes on in the background, because the menu is transparent, you can see right through it, pop the power button really quick and it'll back everything out and give you your reticle so you can get right back to making a quick shot. The new for version 3, the rifle scope is also going to be available in a 640 by 480 resolution. So that's brand new to Burris. We have always been 400 by 300 before. So having that 640 as an option is going to be really, really cool. Additionally, we've also added a few more color palettes to version 3, as well as a new outline mode. That outline mode is going to be pretty significant and come in clutch for identifying a target that's maybe in a stand of trees or against some underbrush. When all of a sudden you can see the outlines of the trees, but it's just kind of a faint blob moving through the trees. Now you'll have an outline around it and you can tell whether it's a cow, a coyote, a pig, or whatever it is that you're out there looking for. So having that outline mode is going to be really, really awesome. In addition to the rifle scope, I also have handhelds. The handhelds are $17.99, so at an $1,800 MAP price. Very, very easily accessible. Also available in that 400 by 300 resolution. And last but not least, we have the clip-on. So I'm gonna grab this guy right here. This is our clip-on combo. Comes with the RT6, the pepper mount, a smart clip adapter to 30 millimeter, and the BTC 35 clip-on itself. Again, this is the 400 by 300 resolution model and has the same click wheel navigation structure as the rifle scope did, along with some really quick and easy to operate battery caps. So I can just tap those, spring-loaded battery cap. I can grab this with gloves, pull a fresh one out of my pocket, and pop that closed in the dark, and it's still running off of the other battery in the other compartment. So that's an awesome, awesome feature to keep us running all night long. In addition to the fact that we have USB-C functionality, as well as an accessory rail, so I can attach a USB battery bank to that clip-on rail and plug it in via USB-C, get all the battery power that I need to run all night long.